Well, good freaking morning, people. Welcome back to my Red Talk. This is Big Red here. Today is Thursday. No, Friday? I think it's Friday. Friday, and I believe it's December 22nd. We are rapidly approaching Christmas time here, so things are things are getting weird. Not that things are getting weird, but it's just a, it's literally a time warp from Thanksgiving to Christmas and then to New Year's. It's like nothing's real. Nobody really works. I just work my balls off all the time. So nothing changes there for me. But it really is just like literally feels like a time warp. Like, I would have sworn last thing I knew, I was like, oh man, Thanksgiving's in 2 weeks. Yeah, well, now Christmas is here. So that's crazy to me. As you can see, still got this stupid ass cough. Don't know what's going on there. Curious to when that's going to go away. Probably never. Maybe I just have the plague. Um, yeah, I don't know. But to recap from yesterday's video, and I want to start off by saying, you know, thank you guys for watching these. If you like what's going on here, please make sure like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Support me. Maybe I can make some money and afford to do some stuff with this. Um, it'd be cool. But yeah, to recap yesterday, so touched on the Aaron Rodgers situation, who I actually saw something interesting last night that the Jets activated Rodgers to the roster, even though he has no plan on playing whatsoever. But in order for them to do that, they had to cut. They ended up cutting Baden, the fullback, and the Twitterverse or the Xverse was not a fan of that, and rightfully so. It was it's kind of a messed up move. Why do that? If Aaron has no reason of playing, you're just literally taking money away from this poor guy now, who doesn't make anywhere near what Aaron Rodgers is making. But I saw the backlash that came upon that. So I don't know what they're doing. If they're activating this fullback again or not, or really have no idea what's going on there. But I saw that. So yesterday talked a little Aaron Rodgers talk. Um, Touched on my sleeping theory that I have. That if you didn't watch the video yet, go back and watch it. But quick little synopsis there. Saw a theory on TikTok that said that there's only a certain number of people that are allowed to be awake at one time. So that means in order for somebody to fall asleep, somebody else has to wake up. So that way it meets the quota for what it is. So essentially, you're potentially connected to somebody who is, I don't know, on the other side of the world in complete opposite time zone. And in order for you to fall asleep, that person has to wake up in the morning. Interesting theory. I want to believe it. I kind of believe it. I think it's kind of a cool thing to think about, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Go watch the video for my longer talk about that. But touched on that yesterday. I talked about what type of animal you would want to be. All right, what type of house animal, like a dog or a cat or something, and then what type of wild animal you try and be. Yeah, so go watch yesterday's video. The one before that, I know the audio was messed up, not messed up, non-existent. So I'm hoping I figured that out, which I did, I think. But yeah, so now just driving into work. It's Friday. It's absolutely freaking freezing outside. It's about 26 degrees right now. Now that's kind of like the issue where I live because I live on the water, so it's like always 8 degrees colder than it needs to be. But summers are worth it. It's just the winter is so depressing. Like today at least it's the last 2 days have been pretty sunny. But when you get into like the heat of the winter, when it's just like gray and cold all the time, it's just not the move. It's like it just makes you want to do nothing. But I wonder. I think I touched on this in one of the first episodes. Like, I wonder if people in like Florida or California, like, if they feel the same way. Because I think with the time change, it still, changes. Like, it gets dark earlier in those times still, which makes sense. But like, it doesn't get like freezing cold, in like LA or I don't know, Miami. So it's like, I wonder if those people that live down there. So if you guys live down there or wherever, let me know your thoughts on this. Like in New York, you just go into like a straight winter depression, and it's just not fun. It sucks. It just feels like it's cold. It just feels cold and dark all the time. Get lucky. That's what I said before. Like with some sun today. Yesterday it was pretty sunny as well. But like, man, in a couple of weeks, it's just gonna be gray and miserable all the time. Ain't nobody got time for that. So that's not fun. So what do we want to talk about today? I'm trying to think what's going on in the world today. You have now, everybody has touched on it, the Rashad Mendenhall tweet that went absolutely viral, where he wants to have an all black versus all white game instead of the Pro Bowl. So I'm actually enjoying watching everybody draft their teams on there, which I think is pretty cool. And I believe Barstool went and did a full draft and Madden simulation, and I think the All Black team won, but it was like 69-57. It's funny when you look at it. Everybody right away when he said this, everybody was like, "Oh, the All Black team would win, no problem, like easy money." Like, yeah, they'd win. Like, more I think about it, and more like people were like drafting their own team and like picking the players for each side. Like, the more you look at it, like that, it would be a close game, absolute close game, and you think you have to look at. My biggest thing is which side the mixed players land on. I think it was Will Compton had a pretty good thing on that, with Bussin' with the Boys with Taylor Lewan, and he broke it down pretty good. If you haven't watched them, you should go watch them. But I think this game would be interesting. I think it would be way closer than a lot of people think, and I think it would be a really good game. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like very evenly matched for the most part. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think it would be a good game. Be interesting to see. And it's just funny because he put this tweet out, because he was all mad, and everybody kind of turned it into like a legit like funny situation when he just tweeted completely out of anger, you know, which is what it is. You know, you're free to say whatever you want to say, but like you have to realize that one, you have a platform. Like you might have been a mediocre quarterback, but people are still gonna look at what you say. Not quarterback, running back. You know, people are still gonna you know look at what you say and take it and interpret it for how they want. And I'm kind of happy that the world interpreted it in this way instead of making it like a complete race war. Because it's one of those things. It's more interesting to think about. So I think the now, as a whole, do I think it might start an absolute civil war within the country? Maybe. You know, that could be one way to kickstart this, but I hope it wouldn't. I hope everybody would be more interested. Not like this would ever actually happen. There's no shot that this would ever actually happen. But I just think the way the internet took it and turned everything made one for phenomenal content because you know every internet personality and podcaster and all that they're all drafting teams and they're doing funny videos with it. Stuff's actually pretty good, and it's really funny stuff. So I would say go check all that stuff out, see what they're up to with that. If you haven't already, like my feed is absolutely flooded with all of that. But yeah, I like that. I think that's pretty good. So I think it'd be a good game. I think it'd be close. I think it'd be way closer than a lot of people think. Now, oh man, God, I can't get over that Christmas is this weekend. We slammed at work. Now, if you guys don't know, I have this company, Dolce Bella. See right here, doing custom cannolis, gelatos, Italian ice. Currently in the process of building a store, which is the whole thing in itself. But process of building a store. So right now we've been running a pop up a couple towns over from where we're moving to, and we've been there since just before Thanksgiving, and we're planning on staying there till the new year, unless we decide to extend it a little bit. But right now it's like been cranking. This is like our Super Bowl this time of year, so it's been good. I'm happy. If you guys want to come check it out, we're there for another week after this. We're there until January 1st as of right now. So come check it out. Get some cannolis. It's at 21 South Park Ave in Rockville Center. All right, it's behind a speakeasy called Cache. I don't know how to actually say that word, but uh, 21 South Park Ave. Throw it in the GPS. You'll see our sign on the door. All right. Follow us on Instagram at Dolce Bella NY. Get the you get the password out of there in order to enter. But that's been going good. It's busy. Working my balls off. Me and my boy Brandon, who follow me at all on any other social medias, you've seen him. Uh, he he and I just cranking it out, man. Getting it. We got something special here, so really enjoying what we're doing. Really, yeah, having fun with it too. That's the thing. I feel like now. So like I used to, right? I was a union guy. I worked in gas and oil. Just to kind of recap my life, if nobody knows it, I used to work in gas and oil. I was a terminal operator. So my job was essentially to take in barges that came with gasoline, diesel, ethanol. For a while, we were doing asphalt, like liquid asphalt. So I worked in that for about 5 years, maybe more. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. But I was doing that. It was one of those things. Money was great. The work schedule was not. It was a 24/7 operation. So you know, it's one of those things where it might be, hey, it's Memorial Day, but that stuff doesn't stop. People drive. People you know still need their stuff. So you know, working 24 hours a day. Not me, but the the terminal ran 24 hours a day. The the shifts they had were never the best. You know, Typical morning shift, afternoon shift, night shift. Um, Somebody just always had to be manning the place, so there was no holidays really, unless you got lucky and your off day fell on one, but that rarely happened. And then if you were like in the position like me where you're on the bottom half of the seniority list, because there's guys that work these jobs for 40, 50 years, and you know make a good living, you make good money. But when they give you off for the holiday, and then you know shifts have to be covered, it starts from the bottom up, so you end up getting put on anyway. But so working there, like, worked Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, like, worked all the major holidays pretty much for every year that I was in there. you know but it's one of those things. The money was good. It was worth. They made it worth working on the holiday, which was good. So I'll take that. But it's just like, it just catches up to you, because it was like working. So where? All right. So I'll put it like this. I started this working in the South Bronx. So I was pretty much on a 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. schedule straight. And then that was Monday through Friday there. And then the weekends, it was a little better there because the weekends were kind of just booked as needed. And, if there was no need to have someone there at the time, like they wouldn't put anybody there on a Saturday because, like, one, it turned into overtime, and that was how they kind of kept some quality of life there. So I started there. I was there for a bit, and then I moved to another terminal they had bought a little closer to home, which was nice. And then the only thing with that was they were full 24 hours a day. Normal schedule was booked on weekends there. So like part of your 40-hour block was typically a weekend day. And unless you were like the number one guy on the list. So the the schedule there, like when I went there and finally like settled down into my own schedule and got everything settled, my schedule there was 4 to midnight, which was the same shift I was used to working. But my days were Wednesday through Sunday. So I had Monday and Tuesday off. Now, that was kind of brutal because it was like, you were there both weekend days. You were, having Monday and Tuesday off was kind of like, just threw off everything. Part of it wasn't bad because part of it was like you would get, you know, 2 days of everybody's working and you're off. So it was like you can kind of go and do whatever you want to do. Like the only thing I used to love was like, I'll go to the grocery store. Nobody's at the grocery store. Beautiful. Go, if you have to go to like the DMV or something stupid, like, stuff like that. It would just be like, people aren't there because people are working Monday mornings. 99% of the world works on a Monday morning. So that wasn't bad. But after a couple years doing that, I was like, just getting tired of it. And, it's like one of those things where, like, I kind of sucked it up for the money. But then, like, I got a phone call one day to coach high school football. Okay, if you know me, I absolutely love football. Played football in college. Did the whole thing there. I love the sport. It's probably the only thing that I do religiously is that sport. So got the call to do that. I was going to move my schedule around. I was willing to go on overnights so that way I can, have the time to coach and be able to make all the stuff, make everything, and all through there. Everything's all set. You know, Manager agreed to move my schedule around. When it came to like a week before, everything was set, and I was like, hey, when are we gonna switch the schedules around? This guy looked me dead in the face and goes, oh, I'm not gonna do that. You're not gonna be able to coach. I was like, okay. So then at that point, I had kind of set in my head that if if this happened, I wasn't really gonna bluff because it wasn't much of a bluff. But I was like, I'm gonna quit. I'm just, this guy's screwing me. So what am I gonna do? I'm on probably the shittiest shift that nobody wants. all right, I'm going to screw you right back. So he told me that. I was like, all right, well, just so you know, I'm leaving. And, funny enough, this dude didn't fight it whatsoever. I was like, that's fine. I'm good. I went, coached football for that first season. We won a championship. And then after that, so like I started, I was coaching, so it was a paid position to coach. And then I, started working in the bar scenes regularly again. So I had money coming in like that. And, I was just kind of the whole time searching for something I could do almost part time that will, you know, make ends meet. And which I did. I figured it out. I just started doing kind of weird things all the time, working for somebody one day, working for somebody else another day. Luckily I had health insurance. I was covered through that. That was no issue. And scrapped it together and figured it out. So that leads me pretty much to where I am now with Dolce Bella, because now I had started working at the bars all the time. I was there 4 or 5 nights a week, making good money doing that. I met Brandon, who was one of the owners of the bar, and uh, ran the bar a few nights. We had become friendly over a couple years, and he he had started this thing called Dolce Bella, and at the time it was an Italian ice cart. So what he was doing was he was going to weddings and he was going to backyard parties and things like that, bringing a nice, cute little cart there, setting it up. Somebody scooping Italian ices for people, and he was charging per party. We had always talked about it every time. Like I loved hearing about it. And then when he wanted to expand it and make it something, something special, something more special, add some products, make something happen. I told him, I was like, the second you want to go, I'm in. I didn't blink an eye. I had a bunch of chunk of change you know, to help do everything and make it. So that's where we are now. Now that led us to a kiosk in Roosevelt Field Mall that we had for a year. Got us all sorts of recognition being in there. Lease ran up. The mall didn't want to renew. Well, didn't want to negotiate, rather. So we walked away from that to go and build our own brick and mortar location, and that's where we're at now. So I do this full time now. I, you know, worked in the kiosk. I coordinated the events. I, helped oversee ordering and um, making sure that we always have product and we always have enough for events that are going out and things of that sort. And I absolutely love it. It's like working for yourself. You're gonna work more, but at the same time, it's like nobody tells us what to do. Like, yeah, like we know and we have each other, obviously, but you know, if he tells me not to do something and I tell him, not to do something, or hey, that's not the best idea, like we're gonna listen. But as far as like, if I'm a big Disney guy. Maybe I'll get into that tomorrow. But I'm a big Disney guy, so it's like if I find cheap flights to go to Disney for, you know, a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm probably gonna go. I'm probably gonna book it and probably gonna go. And the beauty of this now is that, like, I don't really have to go and put in time off. I don't have to request anything. It's it's nice. It's cool. I enjoy it. Like, if I want to go and take off, I just go and take off. Be like, hey, listen, just so you know, I'll be back in 3 days. All right, I have my phone. Call me if you need me. I'll keep. And when I'm away, it's like I just keep up with what I'm doing. Like, 75% of everything I do can be, done on the computer or iPad or something. So it's not like I'm not stuck to going into an office to report to somebody. You know what I mean? It's not like that, which is nice. Yeah, but it's cool. And the thing too is, like you learn a lot about not just the business side of the world, but like what you do as a person when you run your own thing. And it's cool because it's like you got to make it work. You got to make money. You need money to live. Like, everything, has to go in line. And it's tough. Don't get me wrong. It is brutal out here, but wouldn't change it for the world. I really wouldn't. So that's just really, like, I guess, the backstory on me. Um, Other than that, I don't really have anything else. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, so that's Saturday the 23rd. Man, I know I keep saying it. I can't believe Christmas is here. It's actually crazy. So, all right. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Turn on the post notifications, all that good stuff. And maybe tomorrow we'll get into a Disney talk. See you then.